Let's start with a question. What do Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, and Bill Gates all have in common? Sure, they're rich, famous, and ridiculously successful. But there's something else, something most people don't talk about. They all use something called the 5-hour rule. And it's not a hack. It's not a gimmick. It's a learning habit that might be the real reason behind their long-term success. Today, we're breaking down what the 5-hour rule actually is, why it works so well, and how you, yes, even with a 9-to-5 job or a busy school schedule, can use it in your real life. Let's get into it. So first, what exactly is the 5-hour rule? The term was coined by author and entrepreneur Michael Simmons, after he studied the habits of ultra-successful people across different industries. What he found was surprisingly simple. They spend at least 1 hour a day, or 5 hours a week, deliberately learning. Not scrolling, not multitasking. Deliberately learning. Think about it. 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. That's the rule. It's not about cramming or last-minute stress sessions. It's about building a consistent habit of learning that compounds over time. And here's what's wild. This one habit has been used by some of the biggest names on the planet. Take Elon Musk. He famously taught himself rocket science by reading and asking questions. Even as the CEO of multiple companies, he dedicates time to learning, books, deep dives, exploring tough questions. Then there's Oprah. Her entire brand was built on curiosity, on asking questions, reading, listening, and learning from everyone she interviewed. She even credits her personal growth to making time for intentional learning. Bill Gates? He's known for his Think Weeks, where he completely disconnects to focus on reading and reflection. These aren't people who find time. They make time. Because they understand something most people overlook. Your growth doesn't happen by accident. You have to schedule it. So, how do you use the 5-hour rule in your everyday life? You don't need a private jet or a week off in the woods. All you need is a plan, and here's how to do it. Let's break it into 3 parts. Read. Reflect. Practice. Step 1. Read. This is the simplest place to start. Spend part of your daily hour just consuming new ideas. Not in your feed, on purpose. That could mean reading a book or ebook related to your goals, listening to an audiobook during your commute, watching a TED Talk or a well-researched YouTube video, subscribing to one high-quality newsletter or podcast. The key: don't just skim. Choose content that stretches your thinking, teaches you something new, or helps you connect dots between ideas. Set a goal: 20 to 30 minutes a day of intentional input. That alone puts you ahead of most people. Step 2. Reflect. This is the part most people skip. Learning isn't just about information, it's about transformation. And that only happens when you slow down and actually think about what you're learning. Here's how to reflect. Keep a simple learning journal. After reading or watching something, write down, what did I learn? And how can I use this? Ask yourself, what surprised me? What challenged my current beliefs? Talk it out with a friend or mentor. Teach someone else what you just learned. Reflection turns passive learning into active thinking. Even just 10 minutes a day of reflection can turn a random fact into something unforgettable. Step 3. Practice. This is the step that turns learning into results. Ask yourself, how can I use this information in real life? Let's say you're learning about public speaking. Can you practice a speech? Record yourself? Volunteer to present in class or at work? Or maybe you're learning code. Can you build a mini project, even if it's small or messy? Practice doesn't mean perfection, it means application. Spend the last chunk of your daily hour trying, failing, experimenting. That's where the real growth happens. Now you might be wondering, how do I fit this into my schedule? Here's a sample weekly plan for the average person. Monday to Friday. 1 hour a day, 25 minutes reading, 15 minutes reflection or journaling, 20 minutes practicing or applying, or if you're swamped during the week, try this. Weekday light, weekend deep, 20 minutes Monday to Friday. E.g., podcast while commuting, 2 hours on Saturday or Sunday to reflect, build, or write. The goal is 5 focused hours a week. That's it. You could even break it down further. 30 minutes before bed, 10 minutes in the morning, and 20 at lunch, or stack learning with something else. Like working out or walking. It's flexible. But it's deliberate. Here's the thing. Most people don't feel stuck because they're not smart. They feel stuck because they stopped learning on purpose. They wait for school to teach them. Or their boss. Or a course. But the most successful people? They take control of their learning journey. That's what the 5-hour rule is about. Not doing more, but learning better. Not just consuming content, but growing from it. Not just dreaming about improvement, but building it, 1 hour at a time. So let's recap. The 5-hour rule is about spending 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, on deliberate learning. Break it into 3 parts. Read, reflect, practice. You don't need a fancy system, just a consistent habit. Over time, that small commitment becomes a huge advantage. If you start today, in a year, you'll have spent over 250 hours sharpening your mind. That's the kind of investment that pays off in grades, careers, and confidence. So, are you in? If this video sparked something in you, hit that like button. Subscribe for more real, practical learning strategies that actually make a difference. And ring that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. You've got the tools. Now give yourself the time. See you in the next one.